Welcome everybody to the ASCA Rookie Showcase, the first annual, never before of its kind. And we're going to be seeing a lot of action here tonight. We have over 30, I believe 30, new drivers, never raced in ASCA before, going out tonight to prove themselves. And they make contact! Around the 19! Colby 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. Oh my goodness! Janitor has dumped Camo into covers! He gets crashed there by the 01! They're crashing in front of the leaders! They both crash down the backstretch! 4 wide through turn number 4. Here comes Chris. They make contact. They're into the wall. The 57 of Minddraft's taking the lead. They're all crashing down the 1. They're all crashing. Everyone's wrecking over here in Minddraft. Wins at Homestead Miami Speedway. It proves his shot in a D1.
Welcome back to Homestead Miami Speedway, everyone. It's been a while since we saw 18 rookies race it out for 80 laps around this 1.5-mile oval. It was a spectacle between Freedom Fighter Jose and Jubilant Janitor for the victory throughout the night. However, in a late race catastrophe, Minddraft was able to avoid the last lap carnage and steal the rookie showcase. While we were unable to get Minddraft set up for an interview, we were able to get the runner-up finisher over to Homestead to talk to him about his ASCA preseason. And we are now here with Janitor, who is the runner-up of the rookie showcase. He was a dominant figure throughout the night, clashing with Jose. So, Janitor, can you kind of show how you're going to be talking to me today with your thing?
Among Us.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Among Us. Trials were really the first demonstration of what a driver could do. And there were drivers like Dale Turn Right and Freedom Fighter Jose who immediately showed their worth of a D1 sleeve based on their trial performances. Do you think that you were good enough in tryouts to not have to worry about the rookie showcase? Or did you feel like that you didn't perform as well as you could have during tryouts, that you had to go into the rookie showcase knowing that you had to perform well and that this was going to be your opportunity to show what you can do?
I was consistently running around third place in every session, so I was nervous heading into the rookie showcase.
All right, with that being said, in the rookie showcase, you put on a very dominant performance. It was really the only one who was able to put a challenge to Jose throughout the race. Did you expect that kind of speed out of yourself?
I did not. I was screwed out of running well in the tryout race at Homestead because I got wrecked multiple times. I didn't know I had that kind of speed there because of that.
All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the main yellow that came out, the first yellow, where you and Josh in the 01 got involved in an incident, which absolutely ruined what was a perfect situation for you because Jose had missed pit road and lost a lot of time. And if the yellow never came out, you were going to have a huge lead over Jose. Who do you blame for the incident?
I just think it's a racing incident and I haven't really thought about it. It was just a rookie showcase and I felt that I had shown enough to get signed and I felt all I needed to do was just run well after that caution, which I felt I did.
On the final restart, you were in the back due to being crashed on a previous run, and you were able to avoid that huge incident on the final lap to go from the back to the front in a matter of seconds. Tell me, what was going through your mind at that moment?
When I saw the crash, I was just trying to go high. That ended up working out because I got sent twice, once on each turn. Both times when I was beginning to spin out, I had the wall to save me and keep me going.
What were your thoughts on Freedom Fighter Jose and how you guys raced each other?
He gave me enough room when it mattered. I've heard people say he's dirty, but I haven't really seen him being that dirty.
Were there any teams that you were looking forward to impressing during the showcase, or were you just focusing on putting on a good performance and hope that you would have team owners lined up to hire you?
I was just looking at putting on a good showing. I didn't have any specific teams in mind going into it.
Now, you did make a choice, and that was with Two-Pen Motorsports, rebranded as Penske Mopar Racing this season. And I want to know why that team in particular is the one that you wanted to drive for.
They were the first team that guaranteed a ride for me.
Are there any goals that you want to set for yourself this season? I mean, if the showcase was anything to show, you are really fast compared to most of the rookies.
I just want to be consistent and not be like the last driver in the 72.
Well, thank you, Janitor, for showing up today. Watch out for Jubilant Janitor, driver of the 72 Penske Mopar Racing Dodge this season in ASCA. And if anything's looking to glow by, he looks like he'll be a very popular driver. We will see you back here soon. Welcome everybody to the new ASCA Hub. Over the off-season, a lot of changes have been made to the facility, including the updated Hall of Fame. However, that's not what we were here for today, as over the weekend, we found out who the 40 drivers will be for ASCA in Season 4. And here are some of the highlights of this silly season. Starting at Northern Motorsports, they have picked up the Rookie Showcase winner, Mindraft. 2Pen Motorsports is returning to ASCA after leaving in Season 3 with a rebrand to Penske Mopar Racing. And with that is the return of Bailey, the driver who holds the most career wins of any ASCA driver. Furthermore, he hires ASCA veteran Philly Jesus and rookie Jubilant Janitor, who finished second in the Rookie Showcase. Our first new team is Vertex Racing, managed by Rez, and has Season 1 Auto Club winner Josh, returning to the series after not racing in the last 2 seasons. Along with that, D2 driver Lexus makes the jump to D1. Beard Oil Motorsports has a whole new lineup for Season 4, with the biggest name being the return of Weehawk after retiring halfway through Season 3 with Northern Motorsports. Meme Racing has downsized the 3 cars, but don't let that fool you. These 3 are strong prospects, with D2 champion Covers, ASCA race winner in Season 3 Outery, and getting promoted from D2 last season, Yeety Boy. After the closure of Pelham, Emergency moved over to start his own race team, Velocity Racing, and has brought over his Pelham teammate Labo and D2 driver Blackstone. Lascar Motorsports makes the jump to D1 and brings over Ethan Does Gaming from Northern Motorsports last season and ASCA veteran Breezy. Starlight Motorsports has hired Agent after Pelham shut down, has hired OJC after getting sent to the Shadow Realm in Season 3, and D2 driver Zane the Train. After controversy at Indianapolis' road course in the middle of Season 3, Addicted got dropped by Beard Oil and returns this season bringing back his ASCA team with Gay Spider Motorsports but rebranding it as Warren Motorized. And finally, Nicky opens his own race team in Mora Racing and brings over Northern Motorsports driver JJ. However, with everything seeming to change around them, there is one team that has put everything aside and has stuck with the core 4 that made their 3rd season competition so successful. And we brought them here to talk about their Season 4 ambitions. Welcome everybody to the ASCA Hub, where we have 2-time ASCA champion, owner of Uprise Motorsports, and the owner of the league itself, Chris, where we have brought him in for some questions about his team. So to start off, this season of ASCA can be considered a soft reset for the series as a whole, as we have our biggest rookie class in ASCA history, biggest turnout, a full broadcasting schedule, the largest entry list, many new teams, and much more. However, with everything changing, one thing is familiar, being Uprise in its driver lineup. I want to know why you decided to keep your driver lineup the same 4 drivers this season, being yourself, Logan, AJ, and Uncovered.
Well, I'm pretty sure it speaks for itself if you look at the results from last season. I mean, we've got 4 of the 5 best cars on the grid. We're contending week in and week out. Why not play it safe, don't take the risk, and roll it back with the team that was oh so dominant last season and seasons before?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I get that. Absolutely. You know, Uprise is the top team, and there's a reason for that. It's because of their ability to get good drivers. So I get that. Now, as mentioned before, we had the biggest rookie class in ASCA history, and you had the information about everyone's tryout performances and saw the rookie showcase. Were there any points during that time when you considered maybe picking up one of those rookies?
Not really. There was only a few of them that I had in consideration, maybe as a backup plan if something happened to one of our drivers, but with the way things are looking, there wasn't really any need for it, so we just ran it back with the same team.
Absolutely right. Okay, let's talk about you for a minute. You won the Season 1 and Season 2 ASCA championships in dominating fashion. However, in Season 3, you had a major setback to the point where you missed a championship for the first time in your career. Do you have any idea how this happened?
It was just a struggle. The season started off, we didn't qualify for a few races. Every time we beat towards the front, something would happen. A bad caution, a wreck, an incident. We'd always find ourselves in the back at the end of these races. And we never had the finishes or the results that we feel like we deserved. And unfortunately, we were able to break through in Atlanta. And that kind of built some momentum and set a stride throughout the playoffs. But unfortunately, we just fell short at Milwaukee due to an unfortunate 18th place finish at Talladega.
Yeah.
That was out of our control. But we still missed out just by a little bit. But still can't be super disappointed because we had 2 of the final 4 on Uprise Motorsports and we continued to bring home that title.
Yeah. Now, well, it may be easy to say that you can get back into form in Season 4. This next season of ASCA is like nothing before it. With many new competitive names joining the roster, do you think you have what it takes to stay competitive in arguably ASCA's most competitive environment?
I believe I do have what it takes to stay competitive, but we're just going to have to sit back and wait what the season has in store.
Let's switch gears over to our defending champion, Logan. Funny enough, his career started with him not being allowed to race in Season 1 at all. In Season 2, he was able to get a ride with Hysteria, where he had a fantastic season making the championship 4. Of course, he joined Uprise in Season 3 and went on to win his first championship. Can you explain to me why you signed him for your team in the first place?
Well, I mean, again, it explains itself. He came out of the scene, not a lot of familiarities, nobody really knew who he was. Had a little bit of a rocky start to his rookie season, but he turned on the Jets. Won about 3 in a row and marched his way to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
And we felt like if we could have that season's regular season champion and the champion with the second best car all year long on the same team, and we could really do something good.
You also signed AJ in Season 3. How come?
Well, obviously he had a stellar Season 2 in his rookie season, made the Final Four, was arguably one of the top 4 cars for the whole season, came away with, I believe it was 2 wins, and surprisingly enough, it looked like he was almost going to go unsigned, and I made the last-minute decision to drop JJ and sign AJ, and I guess you could say from there it's kind of worked in our favor.
Yeah, because when we think about JJ, me and Durr were having a conversation about this earlier. For people watching, you're going to be seeing Durr's interview after this. But we were talking about how JJ really went from, top of the table and fell from grace. Obviously he was Uprise. He won a ton of races, and now he's sitting at probably arguably one of the lowest tier teams in Nicky and Mora Racing this season. So it's really interesting to see how he went from top to middle to bottom in just a matter of seasons. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that. This isn't part of the script, but I wanted to ask, what were the advantages that you saw with AJ that JJ couldn't provide? Like, what were some of the things that you saw in AJ
You saw it late in the end of Season 2. JJ was quick, but come playoff time, he kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
He was nowhere to be seen. He didn't race. He was eliminated first round by nearly 35 points.
Yeah.
And AJ continued to march forward through all rounds, and we feel with the acquisition of AJ, it just made us so much a stronger team and more of a threat every single week.
Let's talk about AJ being strong. He hasn't really been able, when you really look at his stats, be able to put a full season together to make himself a true title contender. When it comes to that Final Four race, he always seems to struggle to, first off, get there. And in the event that he does get there, it seems like he always has issue being competitive at Homestead. Do you have any idea why that could be?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, judging as he was the dominant car for Season 2 Homestead.
But he still didn't win the championship.
Season, he obviously didn't win the championship, and this season, obviously, with unfortunate circumstances such as the power going out, he wasn't able to make it to the Final Four, but he was still a threat there, and I think he'll have no issues putting a full season together.
All right. Let's move on to your final driver, Uncovered, who, in my opinion, has a lot to prove. He started his career with Spider Motorsports in Season 2, winning his first and only race at that time in New Hampshire. Why did you decide to hire him as your 4th driver for Season 3?
I just felt like the chemistry was there. I just felt like he had proved so much from the start to the finish of Season 2, and I felt like having him on the team would form chemistry, and he would be a contender, and you look into Season 3, and realistically, you look at it, he should have had 6 or 7 wins. He was the most dominant car all season long. So I think our decision was a pretty good one.
All right. As we all remember, Uncovered, unfortunately, got wrecked late by AJ at Homestead, killing any chance he had at the championship. Do you think that Uncovered was deserving of that championship as much as Logan was, if not more?
Obviously, I want any Uprise driver to win, and I'm not going to have any favoritism, but when it comes to deserving it, I feel like they both had a really good season. And while Uncovered was more consistent, Logan found victory lane more often, but I think either way, both of those drivers deserve a championship.
Yeah. Going back to the team as a whole, there are a ton of new talent in ASCA this season. Is there anyone in particular that you think might be able to bring the fight to Uprise?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I I don't think there's a lot of full teams out there in comparison to Uprise. There's a lot of teams that have 2 good drivers and 2 mediocre drivers, or just a pretty average lineup. I don't think there's any teams that really compare to the strength that Uprise Motorsports has and the momentum they have going 3 for 3 on titles heading into Season 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. I mean, the absolute dominance from the start of Season 1 all the way till now is absolutely impressive. And, obviously everyone wants to race for Uprise. I mean, it's the top team. The owner of the league owns it. It has every championship. But there's a reason why it's so exclusive, and that's because they have 4 core drivers that will never break apart. So, finally, who do you think is going to perform the best at Uprise this season?
I couldn't answer that. We haven't even hit the racetrack yet.
All right. Well,
ask me that come like race 10 maybe. And
all right, fair enough.
Have a decision for that.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris, for coming in for this interview. Obviously, getting insight from the top boss in the sport, in the in the series itself is pretty special. Although to be fair, I guess ASCA is kind of the big dog in road racing. So anyway, we're gonna be moving on over to Durr's interview because Durr decided last minute that he wanted to talk with us. So Durr will be coming in with his office in just a moment, and we will see you there.
I've had a fucky wucky.
Welcome back, everybody. We just got done with Chris's interview, and now we are sitting here with another BOD and also a team owner, part of Northern Thunder Motorsports. We have Durr. Say hello, Durr.
Hi.
He's very excited. So let's go ahead and start off with your silly season picks. You hired 2 rookies from the market. The first one being Camo Hunter. Why?
He's good friends with Ginger, who is one of my drivers, and he was really quick in tryouts, so bada bam, bada boom, that's a win-win, motherfucker.
Yeah, everyone kind of assumed.
That was cringe.
No, it's okay. It's staying in. It's staying in. Down. Yeah, but Camo Hunter is obviously 2-time ASCA APOC champion with Ginger, so it's kind of a match made in heaven for those 2 to race on a team together. Yeah. Now, let's move on to the other driver that you signed, and probably a little bit more interesting. Minddraft, obviously the winner of the Rookie Showcase. Why did you hire him?
Well, first off, I wasn't at tryouts. I was working, so I couldn't see shit from anyone. So that was my main issue. And so Chris was like, yeah, he's a good mid-pack guy. And so it's okay. That was just that thing. Yeah, and Ethan trolled me, so I needed a new driver.
Oh. Well, you know what? This was going to be a question for later, but since you brought up Ethan, you dropped Ethan and JJ over the off-season. Let's start with Ethan. How did that happen?
Ethan left.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was some big story about it, but yeah, he went to where'd he go to? Lascar? Yeah, he went to Lascar. Yeah. So let's talk about the other driver, JJ. I think why he's gone is pretty self-explanatory, but go ahead and explain it anyway.
He didn't fucking show up.
Yeah. Well, he's going over to Mora. It's really amazing to see. He went from Uprise, winning races, almost on a weekly basis, to Mora with fucking Nikki. So it's interesting to see JJ's fall from grace almost. So let's go back to the question I was going to ask you earlier before you brought up Ethan. You re-signed Froze this season. And considering his reputation and the amount of penalties and controversy he gets himself into, why did you re-sign him?
He's quick, and he can win races. I want to keep the 24. Just fuck you, AJ.
Is that it?
No,
you couldn't have kept the 24 with somebody else.
That's not really part of it, but I just wanted to say that.
Okay, well, yeah, spite Chris.
Also, who else would sign him? Probably Nikki.
Yeah, no, I feel like people... Because you're absolutely right. He's quick. Like, absolutely quick. The problem is that when he's not being quick, he's fucking running out of fuel. So, it's like, you have a double-edged sword there. Some days he's quick, some days, he's trying to fucking kill people. So, the final question I have for you is, considering all the change that's going on at ASCA, its entry list, with all the new teams, all the new drivers, where do you expect your team to perform?
Same as last season, mid-pack.
So, okay, so you think it's just going to be Froze carrying the team?
Yeah. I want to see if the other three just pull shit out of their ass, I don't know how we're gonna perform.
You know,
We'll have to
I'm
see.
surprised, honestly, with Ginger Ale's season last season. In all honesty, I thought he performed better, considering all the success he had in D2. But I think you
Yeah.
definitely have something with Ginger and Camel working together. I think that's going to be good. Because when those two work together, shit's going to be good.
The skill ceiling from Season 2 D2 to Season 3 Cup for Ginger is way higher.
Absolutely.
So I'm not really surprised that he wasn't too competitive, but
Yeah. I mean, Nikki won the fucking D2 championship, so I mean...
yeah. I mean, Ginger
Alright.
won races.
Yeah,
So,
well, Ginger did win races, too. He put up a good fight to Nikki, but...
yeah. He came second.
Yeah. Because... Oh, no.
I'm having a seizure, Gavin. It's like my English teacher sub last week.
What the fuck was this? Who's outside? Who is that?
That's addicted.
Why is it Dixon here?
Look at this fucking avatar.
All right. Well, thank you, Durr, for coming out, and hopefully this season you'll perform well. Jesus.